Join me on board Celestial Journey as we make a port stop in Mykonos. Now, this is the second part of this journey in Mykonos, and for this one, we are going to go to the more touristy side of Mykonos. Be sure to go back and check out part 1 where we visited the more rural side. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the fun. All right, guys, I'm back, and honestly, I just want to take a nap, but I have 30 minutes to my next tour. It's a long day, but it's fun. This has been amazing, and I like this, and I felt like I could do double tours because, again, this was a very light tour. Didn't require much walking at all. Wasn't out and about sweating like I was in the other ports, so that's why I felt like I could do 2. And I wanted to experience the nightlife or be out during sunset and all of that, either in Santorini or Mykonos, and it just kind of worked out that the ship had an excursion. I felt more safe doing a shore excursion at night with the ship versus third party because I'm with people on the ship. So I'm gonna go just freshen up real quick. Got 30 minutes to meet up for the next tour.
Tickets. If they don't do it there at the gangway, they want to check the excursion tickets at the parking area where are the buses and where the shore staff is going to be waiting for you. Senhoras e senhores, como sempre, ustedes citan su tarjeta del barco. Muito obrigado, Evelyn. Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to go. You may follow my colleague CG from the shore staff. She's going to show you the way to the gangway, which is located on deck number 3, forwards. Please have the boarding cards in your hands on the way to the gangway.
Hello. Alright, I'm off again. Bus number 9 for English speakers. There's about 100 of us for this tour, so still small group. I think they have us divided into 2 or 3 buses. And if you want to avoid the heat altogether, definitely do an evening tour. It is so nice right now. Probably 75 or less. Really, really nice. I also see where there is a sea bus that'll take you to Mykonos Town for €2. So if you don't want to wait for the bus that runs every 30 minutes, you can catch the sea bus for €2. Hello.
Thank you.
Thank you. Headsets.
Yes, yes.
Thank you. Thank you. So because this is a walking tour, you'll need to have the whispers or the headset.
In order to have our dinner with music and dance and everything, we have to say Opa together. Yeah, participate, of course.
Opa.
I wish you to enjoy it.
So something to know about Mykonos is that not all ships will dock at the new port. Most ships, depending on how many are in port, will have to tender to the mainland. So you'll dock further out and you'll catch a water taxi either to the new port or the old port, and then you will catch the shuttle if you're at the new port to Old Mykonos, which is where we are right now. So definitely keep that in mind. If it is windy and you are tendering, it is possible that Mykonos is a port that will be canceled. So we have made it to our destination. It was just a short, maybe 5-minute ride from the ship. Again, that is a complimentary shuttle. In this case, I am part of a tour, so I'm on my tour bus. But guys, I'll be very honest, I was not impressed with this tour, as you'll see and hear about here in a little bit. But it truly was a walking tour of Old Mykonos Town, which you could do on your own. There's absolutely no reason to have to do a walking tour. You can walk and explore on your own because it's not far from the ship and it is extremely walkable. So definitely keep that in mind. Also though, if you are walking, if you have any mobility challenges, keep in mind that there are some rocks, some unpaved or not smooth pavement. So definitely be careful. There are some inclines as well. So you definitely want to take some precautions if you decide to explore Old Mykonos on your own. So apparently some people did not read what this excursion entailed. There's quite a few complaining that they thought it was a bus tour, not a walking tour. This is clearly written as a walking tour plus dinner. So it's kind of delaying the tour because people are dropping off, they're complaining, they're wanting to just go to the restaurant. So we'll see how the rest of this goes. I'm never a fan of walking tours, but I know I wanted to get out at night, so I selected this tour because I wanted to be able to get out and feel safe being in Mykonos, being a solo traveler. Now I'm almost having second regrets or second thoughts. Yeah, this is like the third time we've had to stop because it's the same group of people complaining because they said that the tour was very misleading. So that's not the tour guide's problem. I'm not sure who they sold their ticket to or who they got their tour through, but yeah, it's kind of holding the group up. Yeah, I have a strong feeling I'm probably going to wind up leaving the group because, yeah, they're moving a little too slow for me. And it's a bunch of older folks, which I don't mind, but yeah, it's a little too slow for me. All right, so I did decide to stay with the group only because this tour included dinner. It was actually titled Mykonos Dinner. And so I wanted to make sure that I was able to partake in that since it was already paid for. But I will have to say that I did not enjoy walking through the streets. We were walking, it was probably about 30 or 40 of us kind of walking. I did try to stay close to the tour guide because she was very, very soft-spoken, even with the whisperers. There wasn't a whole lot of history, a lot of information shared. So that was a little bit disappointing. And again, you could, research on your own. I'm sure you could probably find a walking tour audio that's going to give you more information about Old Mykonos Town. But as you see, there's lots of shops, bars, restaurants, and things. So you could make this a full day. Make sure you pack a tripod or camera or what have you, because there are some really nice picturesque spots here. These are the spots that you would typically find on a brochure of Mykonos, where you're going to see the windmills, you're going to see Little Italy right here. So very, very picturesque, especially with the sunset. So I would advise to go maybe when the sun is setting, because it is gorgeous. The views were definitely worth the walk. But again, the price of the tour was not worth it for me. And I do think maybe it was a little bit misleading because, again, I could have done this on my own. But we are off to dinner here in a second, and we'll see how that goes. So this is where I was earlier today, not for lunch, but this is where we kind of had a little bit of free time out here. So this is where we're dining for this excursion. And I can't think of the name of the village. So unfortunately, it didn't get any better with dinner. Now, we were served family style, which is traditional there. But the portions were rather small. It wasn't like another spot that I went to where they kept serving food, to fill the table. They did do a lot of singing and dancing, which was fun to watch. But the food overall just was not tasty. And honestly, there wasn't enough considering the price. I believe it was like 90 euros, but here's pork, and you didn't have an option in what you could have. So they served pork, and then there's some sort of pasta here. The pork for me was a little bit undercooked, very fatty, no taste. The food just wasn't good, so I wound up leaving my plate there. And then for dessert, we had maybe a dollop of Greek yogurt. It was tasty, but again, very small portion, so was not very happy with the meal at all. All right, guys, so I'm back on the ship. It has been a beautiful day here in Mykonos. I will say this, though. Again, comparing ship excursions versus authentic third-party shore excursions, there's a difference. I say this all the time. You kind of clearly saw that today. The first excursion, again, was third-party through Viator. The one this evening was through Celestial. Honestly, there were people that were deciding whether they were going to go and ask for their money back, because it was, I think, 89 or 90 euros for, it's called Mykonos dinner. And what it did was it walked you through Old Mykonos, or the town of Mykonos, which is very picturesque. But keep in mind, you have a free shuttle that gets you from the ship there. Less than 5 minutes, it's free, and you can walk around on your own. There wasn't much history given to where like you had to do a walking tour to get it. There wasn't a lot of information given. So we left there. I honestly thought we were going to have dinner there, watch the sunset, kind of be there near the water. That wasn't the case. They took us to another town, which I was at this morning, which was more in the center of Mykonos. And guys, I'll be very honest, the food just wasn't good. It just wasn't. I think they tried to make up for by dancing and doing things, but I didn't eat it. It just wasn't good. And that was the case for most people at my table. So definitely not worth it. I would have rather had taken that 89 euros to maybe just stay near Little Italy or one of the other little areas and had dinner there with a scenic view. But again, I booked this because I knew I was going to be out past dark, and I feel safer booking third party if I know I'm going to be out late. So, I mean, booking ship excursion if I'm going to be out late. So that's the only reason I did it. But decide for yourself if you think it's worth it. The food honestly was terrible. Yeah. So, but overall, it was a great day in Mykonos. I really, really enjoyed the first tour. Tomorrow's Milos. It is the last port of this cruise. And then I'm getting off the ship the next day, heading home back to the family. So it's been a great adventure. Be sure to stay tuned for Milos tomorrow, because we're going to tour the island, to all the beaches around Milos. Tomorrow can be a relaxing shore excursion adventure. This one was also booked through Celestial, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. I've heard the beaches are very beautiful. I heard this is the prettiest Greek isle, so we'll see. But again, thanks for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share us out. And I will see you guys tomorrow in Milos.